feel today? Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! And I don't do that! And I don't do that!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's go! Let's hunt! We made it! And I don't do that! And I don't do that!
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We made it! And I don't do that! And I don't do that! It's a wrap. Game over.
Nope, game's not over. It's just getting started right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. I'm AJ Jones, man. Come on, Freestyle Friday. Come on, Freestyle Friday. Hope y'all have had a great week. I know I surely have. And again, some more great games last night in college basketball playoffs, tournament playoffs. I say last night, man, there were games going on all through the day. I know Prairie View and Jackson State jumped at 2 o'clock Central yesterday. Man, Prairie View came up just a little bit short, losing that one by the final score of 62-60 in overtime. So we'll see how that went. And then the women of U of H came up short as well. They lost to East Carolina last night. So they're out. Prairie View's out. Number one, U of H men going to take on East Carolina today. TSU going to be in action, so it's going to be a lot going on today. Another busy day as things get going. So, man, oh, man. Got to talk about it all on Freestyle Friday. Got to talk about the Texans. They got fined by the NFL $175,000. They lose a fifth-round pick in the upcoming draft for not disclosing salary cap impacting benefits that they gave to one Deshaun Watson when he was here in 2020. Of course, that's related to the benefits that he had at a local hotel with a workout facility, the Houstonian, very nice, where allegedly some of these sexual assaults took place. So the Texans got fined $175,000. They also lost a fifth-round pick, and I will just continue to say this. They knew. They settled out of court with 30 women. They knew. So everybody, again, I'm not trying to exonerate Deshaun Watson. I'm not. But, man, listen, the Texans knew. People in that front office, on that staff, they knew. So we'll leave it at that. Texans suffered their penalty. All right, moving on and moving around. March Madness, man. I love this time of year. Let's look at some of these basketball scores from yesterday. In conference play, it was Toledo, number one seed in the MAC, knocking off Miami of Ohio, Virginia Commonwealth, VCU, the Rams, keeping it going. They knocked off number 8 Davidson in the A10. Michigan sent home Juwan and team gone after losing to Rutgers 62-50. Now, and again, that wasn't a close one. They just got dog walked in that one. In overtime, number 1 Marquette got past St. John 72-70 to keep rolling. Marquette's going to be in the tournament no matter what they do in the Big East, but they hung on to beat the number 8 seed. Miami got a real good shot to be a number 2 seed in this thing. All overall, they knocked off Wake Forest barely. Final score 74-72 in the ACC. East Carolina got the win over South Florida 73-58, which is why they're going to take on number 1 Houston later today in the AAC conference tournament. Who else we got? Iowa State knocked off Baylor. Iowa State, number 5 seed in the Big 12, knocked off number 4 seed Baylor 78-72. And look at number 9, Mississippi State. Got past number 8, Florida in overtime, 69-68 in the SEC. They are moving on. Again, going back to the MAC, number 5, Ohio. Got past number 4, Ball State, 90-70. And then it was St. Louis in the A-10, getting past George Mason, 82-54. No problem there. The Ohio State University is rolling. They were the number 13 seed. They beat number 5 seed Iowa, 73-69. I don't know. Iowa will probably get in, but with a record of 19-13, don't know. Duke, man, flexed on number 5 Pittsburgh in a big way. Beat them 96-69. Just inverse the number, I should say, in the ACC. Big time Duke rolling. UCF knocks off SMU. Final score 76-70 in the AAC. Number 1 seed Sam Houston in the Western Athletic Conference got past Cal Baptist 64-51. UCLA late night over Colorado 80-69 in the Pac-12. San Diego State in the Mountain West got past Colorado State 64-61. Who else we got? UC Irvine in the Big West beat Cal Baker. Also, UConn over Providence. UConn's going to be a problem in the tournament. UConn is going to be a problem in the tournament. I already told you about Jackson State, number 3 seed beating Prairie View 62-60 in overtime. And then it was number 1 seed Kansas beating West Virginia 78-61. No problems there in the Big 12. Kansas probably going to lock up that number 1 seed, number 1 seed in the tournament. Tennessee got past Ole Miss. Ole Miss looking to hire the disgraced coach out of UT as their next head coach. All the charges have been dropped. Things seem to be in order. Hate that he blew his dream job of coaching his alma mater, but looks like he won't be out unemployed long. Ole Miss needing a coach, finishing 12-21. Kent State beat Northern Illinois. Dayton beat St. Joseph's. Seattle beat Grand Canyon. It was Cal State Fullerton late last night beating Hawaii in overtime. Nevada lost. They're the higher seed, lost to San Jose State in overtime. Oregon beat Washington State. Maryland Eastern Shore got past Morgan State in the MEAC, 80-64. Let's see, Akron beat Buffalo. Penn State over a higher seeded Illinois, 79-76 in the Big Ten. Florida Atlantic beat Western Kentucky, and Arkansas, those Razorbacks, raised up on Auburn last night, 76-73. So just giving you some scores from the conference tournaments in March Madness basketball. All right, let's get a break in here, and then I'll come back. It's fast break edition of Freestyle Friday. So we'll be right back right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and what Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.
That's why we here on this platform.
Marriage, a loving splendor, a daily grind. Such is the case when Damien and Jamie get together and chop it up, for marriage is real.
Let's just lay it all out here. Let's just be real with it.
Join this wonderful couple who keeps it real and always in love. BS3 Network proudly presents Marriage is Real, where love is the only thing that matters. Live every Tuesday at 8:30 Central. Oh, and Jamie has something to say.
Deuces and trays.
Mr. AJ, oh my God, thank you. This is Miss Pearl, and I won $500 cash in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. Mr. AJ, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Pearl. Thank you for giving us a whole lot of fun this past season in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. You got your $500. We're so glad to grace you with it. And again, I want to thank my sponsors, Sports and Wellness Doc, Dr. Alexia McClurkin Johnson. You need some therapy on your back or your shoulder or an injury, or if you just need some treatment, man, just need some stretching, need those vitamin drips, need some weight loss management, check my friend out, sportsandwellnessdoc.com, sportsandwellnessdoc.com. Be sure and tell her AJ sent you. You're going to get some blessings. All right. And then we got to thank the Hartwell Clinic. The Hartwell Clinic. I mean, man, I tell you, people, I'm about to get a car tuned up today and about to get oil change and tire rotation. If you got annual checkups you do on your vehicle, you need to do annual checkups on your biggest muscle in your body, your brain. All right. Your emotions, your feelings, your mental health. Check out the Hartwell Clinic. Go to thehartwellclinic.com. That's thehartwellclinic.com. Again, tell them AJ sent you. And then if you need insurance, man, if you need supplemental insurance, if you need life insurance, whatever kind of insurance you need, get with me. I got you. All right. Especially if you're in the state of Texas. 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. All right. I gave you the scores for the men. Let me give you some scores for the women from last night. Some good ones over in the women's conference play. Over in the SWAC, Alabama State got past Bethune 70-61. All over in the some other HBCU scores. Got Hampton beating Delaware. Got North Carolina Central beating Coppin State 57-50. Howard beat Delaware State 67-35, and A&T, North Carolina A&T, lost to Hofstra 66-59. Some other conferences, UT San Antonio knocked off the ladies of Rice 62-54. Sorry to hear that. Of course, we've had Rice's head coach on our show. She's a great lady doing a great job over there turning some things around. All right, some other scores. Southern beat Prairie View in the SWAC 64-37. Kansas State beat Texas Tech 79-69. TCU got by Kansas women 57-62. I already told you East Carolina beat University of Houston 46-44. Man, U of H almost got that one through. So those are your scores from some of the ladies' game. All right. Let's talk about some of this other stuff here, man. Oh, man, again, sincere prayers going out to Patrick Ewing. Got his first chance to coach at his alma mater, and unfortunately, it did not go well, especially this season. A lot of injuries, young team, just couldn't get over that hump. But Georgetown let go of Patrick Ewing last night after their loss in conference play. And I'll just say this, man, he's a good dude. I hope he gets another chance, but it just didn't work out. Sometimes it's a heartwarming story when a coach or former player goes back as a coach to their alma mater, but it doesn't always work out. So I hope that that's not an indictment on Patrick Ewing as a coach. He should have gotten a head coaching job in the NBA, didn't. A lot of folks look at his demeanor and, he's just a laid back guy. I was talking with a guy like that the other day, Coach Burrell over at Booker T. Washington High School. I said, Coach, you always that laid back? He said, man, I don't get bothered by nothing. I said, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. He said, some people are just like that, man. Just, God, not everybody can be the exact same. If they were, it'd be boring as Hades. So anyway, long story to say, I hope Coach Patrick Ewing gets another shot somewhere. To me, he don't have to go nowhere to prove himself. He just needs an opportunity, man. Stop with this. Oh, he should go down to high school and prove himself. Just shut up, idiot. Just shut up. You know, your butt didn't go nowhere to prove yourself. We're here dealing with your nonsense. So please just be quiet. All right. All right. Okay. So that's that. I wanted to get into that. Also, let me some other quick highlights I want to get to. The LA Rams are reportedly calling teams about trading quarterback Matthew Stafford. Reportedly, they are looking for some trade partners for quarterback Matthew Stafford. Now, I'm going to tell you, that Super Bowl year, his first year with the Rams, he handled his business, obviously got them to the Super Bowl and won the doggone thing. But last year, oh my goodness, dude, wasn't playing well. Then he got injured, and now reportedly they are looking to make some moves. So we'll keep you posted on that. That's one to keep an eye on. That is one to keep an eye on. Man, tough year. Completed 68% of his passes, 2,087 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. You know, that's not a good ratio. That is not a good ratio. So we'll keep you posted on that. Okay, we will keep you posted on that. Kevin Durant looks like he's going to miss a few days with the situation with his ankle. Keep you posted on that. Ja Morant, no criminal charges for the gun that he had on, what was it, Instagram or Snapchat or Twitch? Not Twitch. TikTok, I'm sorry. No criminal charges, but he and the organization have agreed he needs to be away from the team for a little while longer, about 4 games. And if I'm not mistaken, Memphis without him last night, dog walked the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, they did. 131-110. And I know everybody was talking about how Draymond Green murdered Dylan Brooks from the Memphis Grizzlies. Well, Brooks got a little measure of revenge because his team got a huge win over Golden State, albeit regular season. Draymond Green had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Dylan Brooks, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. I call that a wash. So he might have murdered him on social media, but he definitely didn't murder him in that game. It was the other way around when Grizzlies got the big win over Golden State. So I always tell people, man, you can run your mouth all day long. Yeah, snap, you got it. You got it. You jonesing, boy. You jonesing. But I'll point to that scoreboard too. I know Draymond's got 4 rings. Brooks has none. I'm not trying to defend Brooks. I'm not trying to slam Draymond. I'm just saying last night it was all Memphis without Ja Morant. All right, get a break. Be back right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap-B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap-B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Mr. AJ, oh my God. Thank you. This is Miss Pearl, and I won $500 cash in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. Mr. AJ, thank you.
That does something to me right there. Just hearing her and the excitement and the gratitude in her voice. Listen to me, man. There ain't no greater feeling than that. If I don't do nothing else, I feel like I did one right. Having that contest this past season where Miss Pearl won that money. First time she's participated. Been a long-time listener of us on KWWJ, long-time listener with us on KYOK. And then when she found out where I was here on BS3 TV and Roku TV, she got she don't miss a day. She don't miss a day. So for her and her family to get that 500, man, I'm really happy about that. We're going to give somebody else a chance to win $500 cash as well. All you got to do is get your free account set up with cbssports.com. That's cbssports.com. Free account now. Don't buy anything. Don't purchase anything. Don't get the CBS Sports Plus. We'll need that. I'll send you a link next week. And all you got to do is click on that link and fill out two brackets. Fill out two brackets completely. If you're not sure if your bracket got filled out, you can reach out to me, 832-403-5005. Text me and say, AJ, can you see my brackets? If it says incomplete, I'll hit you back and let you know, no, you're not done. You got to go back and finish it up, because a lot of people will pick one region, another region, but they will forget something. Also, don't forget, you got to get the final score of the championship game. That'll be the tiebreaker, okay? And that's how you'll know who will win, because it does. It comes down to that tiebreaker all the time. I talked to Stephanie Bisco yesterday. With Bayway, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. And let me tell you, man, she is excited. She's like, you doing a bracket? Even Todd reached out. You doing a bracket? So we're going to have a lot of people in this bracket challenge. So get in, get your chance to win $500 cash, and let's have a lot of fun, all right? Let's have a lot of fun. All right. The NFL tampering period. That's what it's called. It's coming up in about a week. And I'm starting to think that, while there's a lot of speculation that no teams have verbally expressed an interest in Lamar Jackson, I'm going to try and give it the benefit of the doubt that it's because we're not in the period where you can really even talk about it. There's a period that they call the tampering period before you can actually sign a player, where you can negotiate. I want to believe with all my heart that the NFL is not that league where they're going to collude and they're going to, just all come together against another person's ability to earn a living and help their team win a championship. I want to believe that's not the case. We'll find out, because the tampering period, I think, starts next week. I am of the belief that if you're the Houston Texans, I'm going to just single them out because I'm here in Houston. If you're the Houston Texans, bump them, man. Listen to me. Cal McNair and fans of Cal McNair, Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft, that knucklehead up in Washington. Man, these people ain't worried about you. They're not worried about you getting your team better to win a championship. They could care less. They couldn't care less. So if you're the Texans, 2 first-round draft picks. It could be one this year and one next year. You got 2 first rounds this year, but don't give them both up. That number 2 pick this year, a first-round pick next year for Lamar Jackson, plus meeting his demands. You're going to have to give him about $200 million guaranteed. What did Deshaun Watson get? You're going to have to give him about $200 guaranteed. Fully guaranteed. But hear me when I say, if Cal McNair and Nick Caserio are serious about really turning this franchise around and giving the fans something that they can look forward to and be excited about, there it is right there. 2 first-round draft picks, one this year, one next year, $200+ million fully guaranteed. and take him instead of CJ or Bryce or Anthony Richardson or Will Levis. And then get you one of those backups that you were talking about. You know, if you want to get Andy Dalton, get him. If you want to get, Jimmy Garoppolo, get him. I don't think Jimmy would come for a situation like that. Get you one of those decent backups. And then still get a quarterback in, one of the later rounds. Okay? And ball out. Ball out. You will automatically then have the number one quarterback in the AFC South. A close second would be Trevor Lawrence. But again, right now, today, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. You send a message to your city, your fan base, your season ticket holders, the league. You ain't playing. You trying to get this thing together now. I don't think they'll do it, but my 2 cents. It's also interesting to hear Dameon Pierce, rookie running back for the Texans. I believe he was the offensive rookie of the year for the team. Talk about Anthony Richardson, who he played with for 2 seasons in Florida. He says not only is that dude a freak of nature, because he smashed the combine. I mean, he set records for quarterbacks in multiple areas. But he said he's a great dude. He's a great dude off the field. He's the dude that's always involved in the community in Gainesville. And I'm not talking about the University of Florida Gainesville community. I'm talking about the us community. I lived in Gainesville. It's night and day. And it's literally like the land that time forgot, because there's still some, some people who are loud and proud about their beliefs of the different cultures. I think I said that very well. If Anthony Richardson is that dude, and if the Colts move up with the Bears and take the quarterback that the Texans wanted, I don't know which one it'll be, Bryce or CJ. I fall back to Anthony Richardson, man. And that's not even a fallback, because now you got a guy who can truly be the face of your franchise. And from what I understand, he's got people around him that, man, it ain't going to be no alleged this and alleged that. And the dude can freaking play. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's fast as Hades. I mean, he's got good feet. He will not be a statue. You can do so many things with a quarterback like that. Number one would be whichever one you want, Bryce or CJ. But man, a 1A would be Anthony Richardson. So we'll see. We'll see what all that looks like come April 27th through the 29th. The NFL draft will be coming up. All right, let's see what happened in the NBA last night. Where is it? Oh, man. It's been a great week, man. I hope y'all have enjoyed this week. Uh-oh. Why did I go back to women's college basketball? Here we go. Because my stuff. All right, last night. Rockets and Pacers in overtime. Pacers get the win 134-125. They got outscored by 9 in the overtime period. They had a fierce fourth quarter to send it into overtime, but they couldn't get the win. Man, they trying to hold on for that. They trying to get that number one pick. Charlotte beat the Pistons last night, 113-103. Utah got the win over the Orlando Magic. I already told you that the Memphis Grizzlies dog walked the Warriors 131-110. Milwaukee is still doing their doggone thing. They got yet another win. This one over the Brooklyn Nets, 118-113. Sacramento, keep telling y'all, knocked off the red-hot New York Knicks, 122-117. And let's look at these standings real quick. Before I got to go. In the East, Milwaukee's putting a little distance between them and Boston. They're up by 2.5 games. They've won 9 out of their last 10. Boston, 5 out of their last 10. Philly is in third. Cleveland is fourth. The New York Knicks, with their great win streak that they just were on, they're all the way up to number 5. Brooklyn hanging in there at number 6. Number 7, Miami. Number 8 is Atlanta. And then you've got 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'm sorry. 9, 10, 11, and 12, right? Toronto, Washington, Chicago, and Indiana. So that's what you got there. Down in the West, Denver. Don't worry about Denver, AJ. Ain't nobody scared of Denver. They're only 6.5 game up on everybody in the West. Sacramento is up to number 2, sliding over Memphis. Both of them are 6.5 games behind the Denver Nuggets. Then there's Phoenix at number 4. The Clippers getting it right at number 5. Number 6, Golden State. Number 7, Minnesota. Number 8, Dallas. Number 9, the Lakers. Number 10, the New Orleans Pelicans. And then 11 and 12, Utah and Oklahoma City. All right. We'll see how this thing plays out. It's going to be going down the stretch. Look, I didn't hit my mark. I didn't hit my time. Let me see if there's anything else I want to get in real quick. Oh, yeah. There was an article. God, dog. Listen, Sports Illustrated, stop. Just God doggone it, stop. Your writers are literally killing your credibility, man. There was an article that Jared Goff is better than Lamar Jackson, and they gave 5 reasons why. Just stop. Just stop it. Has Jared Goff been more successful playoff-wise than Lamar Jackson? Yes. Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl, couldn't get it done. Lamar Jackson hasn't. That's not the only measuring stick. Are you trying to tell me that Brad Johnson was better than Dan Marino? Are you trying to tell me that Trent Dilfer was better than Dan Marino and others? No. Hell no. Stop trying to be so doggone provocative that you end up looking stupid. Write your articles, man. Do you? It's Freestyle Friday. I'm done freestyling. Listen, it's been a great week. I hope you all have an even greater weekend. I love you to life. Be sure and tune in on Monday when the coach Johnny Cole will take another HBCU stroll with a special guest. And I'll be back on Tuesday. Lord say the same for Talk Your Team Tuesday. We'll have, again, more stuff about the conference tournaments and basketball, men and women. I'll be sending out the bracket for the Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Basketball Challenge. Let's get it. Okay. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you. There's nothing you can do about it except keep it locked in right here and have a blessed weekend. All right. We'll talk to y'all later on the Lunch Break.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, we made it. It's Friday, March 10th, 2023. Number 1. President Biden traveled to Philadelphia Thursday to present his proposed budget, which will cover spending and cuts over the next 10 years. The budget contains a major emphasis on protecting Medicare and Social Security, as the president stressed during his recent State of the Union address. The Biden budget will include what the White House calls a minimum tax on billionaires and a 25% tax on the richest 0.01% of Americans. Number 2. Active service members and veterans provided first-hand testimony Wednesday about the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, describing the carnage and death they witnessed on the ground. It was the first of what's expected to be a series of Republican-led hearings examining the Biden administration's handling of the withdrawal. The majority of the witnesses argued to Congress that the fall of Kabul was an American failure, with blame touching every presidential administration from George W. Bush to Donald Trump to Joe Biden. Number 3, the maker of an unproven drug intended to prevent premature birth says it will voluntarily remove the product from the U.S. The drug, McKenna, is a synthetic version of the hormone progesterone, which is needed to maintain a healthy pregnancy. The removal announcement Tuesday from Covis Pharma comes roughly 4 years after McKenna failed to show a benefit in helping mothers carry pregnancies to full term. Number 4, Friday, March 3rd, Florida State Senator Clay Yarborough introduced a measure mandating state intervention in cases of transgender minors receiving gender-affirming care. Senate Bill 254 includes provisions for courts exercising temporary emergency jurisdiction over a child who is at risk of of or is being subjected to gender-affirming care. The proposed bill, currently making its way through the state Senate, has yet to be voted on. Number 5, designer Amira Dior Trehan Artis is the brains behind her own shoe line, Lane 1, and she'll be front and center at this weekend's Oscars. The 14-year-old Brooklyn, New York native is preparing to present her sneakers at a celebrity gift suite prior to the Oscar ceremony. Motivated by her Oscar gig, the artist has set her sights on going beyond just online selling and dreams of seeing her shoes on retail store shelves nationwide. Point me in that direction. Shoes? Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Life is a series of choices. Choose to override negativity with positivity today. I am positively telling you I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.